Good morning, everybody. It's early, 8 a.m., New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's, everybody. 70 degrees outside, and we got a no heat call. I don't think they're here. I think they're just going by the thermostat maybe reacting or not. It's a condo, apartment, whatever you want to call it, over here on the water. But we are headed there now. We're going to get it checked out and see if we can get it fixed. We'll see you there. All right. From the words of a great iconic person, here we go. This backpack is nice because I got a nice little walk to this apartment here. All right, we are here. System. Oh no, my backpack was open. Sometimes I lose stuff like that. System is off. Satisfied at 75. We're gonna put it in cool mode. Make sure it all kicks on and works in cool mode. AC is here. I'm gonna get my thermometer out and we're just gonna make sure it's cooling. Check the suction line. Could be a refrigerant issue why it's not heating, so I'll take a temp split. It's nice 75 degrees in here. So I'll just pop it up in the return. It's close. I'll try to go by this temperature. So a lot of times I'll double check if it seems weird and put it down here. But it's so close to the return in this closet in the hallway that it should be right. It does have a dehumidifier. Once I check the temperature, we're gonna pop the door off. Here's the wiring nuts here. Blue to blue, red to red, green to green. And you got white to white and brown to brown, which is going over to the dehumidifier control here. So it's not using the white for heat. So that could be our issue. But it should still use heat. So we'll have to figure something out. There should be another wire, maybe this brown wire for heat here, because this isn't a stage 2 system. So we got reversing valve, we got cooling, we got the common, we got constant red, we got green for fan, dehu here. So this brown has to be heat, so I'll bet it's not wired right inside. We're at 55, we're at exactly 20 degrees. Alright, so let's turn it to heat. See if we can't get no heat coming out. Let it reset. Alright, now on these trains, I'll show you, let me take this off. On these trains, model and serial number. We're looking at here, it's a TIM 4, 4A0C42. So 42 is your tonnage, and that TIM 4 is the SEER. So it's 14 SEER air handler. If you guys ever wonder, it's going to be that one number is going to be your SEER rating. TIM 6 is 16 SEER, so on and so forth. And then your first digit is your year. And then your second is the week of the year. You have 52 weeks in a year, so the second number is the week. Carrier, I think, is vice versa. Flip those numbers around. And someone actually marked the heat kit here. like a 7.5 or a 10 kW heat kit. Let's wait for it to kick back on. They labeled this. Labeled bathroom door key. They just label and everything. You're gonna have to raise this drain every time you change that filter right there. It's going to fall. But it works. It just kicked on. Alright, so we'll let it run. Let's see if it's heating. I'll usually just touch this suction line. Make sure that's getting hot. If that's not getting hot, then something is programmed wrong or jumped out or something. Yeah, something just jumped out. So we have voltage here to orange. I'm gonna take this off, check the wiring. I'm gonna take that off, check the wiring. We're just gonna check the settings too. We're just gonna make sure, because a train's gonna have to get voltage for this reverser valve in cool mode. So it's getting voltage somehow in cool mode. Wire nut just fell off that common. So we'll check it out. We're still getting 54-degree temp coming out. So just for sure cooling right now. So the issue could be here, the issue could be upstairs on the roof. There's wire nuts just sitting here. We got yellow right here with no wire nut on it. That's because these wire nuts, somebody else has looked at this thing. My SD card was full, so I don't know what I got, but I'll go back over it. I found the white wire for the heat strips not connected. It's cooling, so we're not getting voltage through the orange wire. I just took the thermostat off to check the wiring, and everything is wired correctly. So I'm going to put it back on. I'm going to check the programming. This is a Honeywell T4. So once it kicks on, scroll through all that. Then we're gonna hold menu and plus down until it says ISU. Then we're gonna scroll through and check everything. 120. I got the instructions right here. Is scheduling, or yeah, like the scheduling options and everything. So we're gonna go to the next one. 125. And then 200 is heating cycle. 2 is heat pump. Okay, 7. 205 is 7, air-to-air heat pump. 218 is O, that's correct. 220 is one stage cooling. So that all looks good. So I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to go up to the condenser with just my meter. Just the meter and the drill or the screwdriver. I'll just take my screwdriver. Make it a little easier to carry stuff up there. I know the refrigerant levels are good by the temp split, but we're gonna go up there and see if this thing is, why it's not getting voltage on the arm, or why it's constantly getting voltage on the orange wire. Okay, so I think it's over here on this side. Time to climb the ladder. Things are pretty heavy sometimes. Alright, 1304. It's labeled. So, wiring goes through. If you don't see the wire nuts in that compartment on the trains, they'll be right here on this side. This little side door. Forgive my breathing, I'm fat and out of shape. Okay, so we got red to red, orange to orange, white to white, blue to blue, yellow to yellow. Everything looks good. So for some reason, orange is getting power. Let's see why that is. Could just be a bad solenoid. It's not working. It's not clicking, like it's not getting power. Could be a stuck reversing valve. Let's see what we got. We got 0 volts. Just like we're supposed to. Okay. Let me see if this reversing valve is stuck. What I'll do is I'll touch the orange to the red just to engage voltage on that reversing valve. Reversing valve sounds good. Reversing valve sounds good. Could have a bad board. Just back feeding or something. While I'm up here, a lot of times these boards will go out in the wintertime on 4 red flash lockout, hard lockout, and it's because when it kicks over to heat, this reversing valve, the signal from the board takes too long to turn that reversing valve over, and it'll go out on suction. So the bypass the train says is you're going to cut this red wire here, you're going to wire nut it together at the plug for like a jumper, and then this one you're going to wire into your Y, or right here to your contactor, so it'll still cut that out on your pressure switches and stuff. Alright, so we are on. It's cooling. We're getting 20 something volts. And we weren't getting that before. So what I'm going to do, I was about to test the board, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug this here. Just see where the voltage is coming from. So this is going to be coming from the board, like back feeding. And then this is going to be coming from the thermostat downstairs. And that's where we're getting our voltage. And it's weird voltage. We're getting 22, it's jumping around. Like there's a short. Okay. Alright, so I got 3 extra wires. So I'm going to hit it. You're going to see this is orange. We're getting 22 volts. I'll put it on one of our extra wires, which is the green wire coming out here. We're getting 22 volts. So that's not even wired to anything. The brown wire, we're getting 11, 12 volts. And the black wire, we're getting 12 volts. So there's definitely a short somewhere hitting all the wires. I'm just gonna disconnect and see which one. Disconnect one at a time. This is the heat wire for the heater strip, and just to see if we lose voltage where we were getting it before. Okay, it went down to 2 volts. Went down to 1 volt with that heater strip. 22 still on orange though. Okay, so let's disconnect the yellow. Surprised it ain't shorted to ground. Okay, this is the yellow. Now this is disconnecting. This is literally just testing the wiring coming from the air handler and the thermostat. Okay, we're getting voltage there, 23 volts, 22 volts. Okay, I'm gonna unplug it from the board just to see what we're getting now. Still getting voltage, so it's definitely coming from the air handler. Why are we getting voltage? So it could be a short here, or it could be a short in that air handler. So now we got to go downstairs, unwire, and twist all these together. Like, I'll usually twist them together in the air handler so I can go back down, and then I'm going to ohm out and see what's ohmed together, what's not ohmed together. All of that's. There we go, so we got that. Getting voltage to each one. Okay. Sometimes I'll check it to ground here, and I'll just see, and if it's an issue going through common or something, you know it's not, but yeah, sometimes it helps to make its own ground every now and then. Okay, so now I'm gonna go downstairs, unwire everything, wire it like in pairs, like red to yellow and stuff like that, and then we're going to just ohm out each wire and see where the actual short is, and see if it is the wire coming outside or if it's a wire somewhere else that's causing the short. So that's the game plan. Alright, I got all the wires disconnected, and what I'm going to do is pair them together. I just dropped a wire nut. Let me grab another one. But what you want to do is just pair like a couple together. Grab some wire nuts. And just in pairs. You don't want to do too many. Lose focus. So we'll do like blue and white together. And just remember, you can take a picture if you want. Remember what you paired together. And then we got red, I always do red and yellow together. I'll usually end up doing the same ones. Then I'll do orange and green together. And then I'll do black and brown together. Alright. So there we go. Now we're going to go back to the roof, and we're going to ohm out the pairs and then ohm out to each other and see what's bleeding over. We can isolate this thing to the outside. If everything ohms fine, then you know this wire going to the condenser is good and your issue's inside somewhere. Now sometimes it might take a little bit longer to do it this way, but it'll actually save you time on the end run instead of chasing a short and racking your brain. This is like the surefire test, just to test the wire itself and know that it's good. So you're going to unwire everything out here. Brought some gator clips just to make it a little quicker. And you got to remember what you paired together. So we did blue and white first, so we'll just start with blue and white. Alright, that's good. And then I'll go through and I'll check each one. Okay, there's no short on the blue and white to anything. Then we're going to do red and yellow. Okay, that's good. No short to anything. We'll do green and orange. That's good. Boom, 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 boom. And then we're going to do brown and black. That's good. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so that right there tells me the wire going to the condenser is good. No issue with this. So we'll put everything back together, and then we're going to focus inside. So now I want to do the same thing for the air handler, going to the thermostat minus the DHU wires. I think I want to skip those. The DHU has its own transformer, and when that dial kicks in, it just does a connection. It could be what's bleeding over, so we'll just double check and see what we got. Okay, red, yellow, orange, green, blue, white. That's what I got wired up. We're gonna go over here and get my little gator clips. Go blue, white first. That's good. Then this one. Nope. No. No. Oh, so blue and white is not bad. We'll do green and orange. Good. I'll still check blue and white just in case. So green and yellow is shorted. Green and red is shorted. So we got the green wire to the fan. Sounds like it's shorted. Or something else is shorted. It's these four is shorted. So we're gonna do that, this. So something in there is shorted. So now what we're gonna do is unwire. We're gonna unwire it, since we know that the shorts is somewhere in these four. Here, we gotta find which wire is bad. We gotta figure it out. So I'm just unraveling them back to normal. Okay, now we're gonna do one at a time on those four, since they're all singular now. And we know that the reverse valve is one of the main issues. So we're going to check and see what's going on. Okay. Well, there's a short. So orange and green's fine. Orange and red's fine. So the short is in orange and yellow. I'm just going to double check with red. Good, good, good. Double check with green. Good, good, good. Double check with yellow. Good, good, short. So yellow and orange is where the short is. All right. So I gotta figure out now where the short is. It's most likely in this garbage here somewhere. Could be stapled in the wall. We can't use an extra wire because that goes to the DQ. But I can jump a new jumper from here to here if this is the issue. So I'm just gonna undo orange here and yellow. Let's see what we can come up with. We might have to just go grab an add a wire. It'd be sweet if the short is right here. I need to unravel them completely. We want to be sure. Completely disconnect them from one another. Could be a staple in it, in the wall, in the framing. There's really no telling. And they ain't no pulling a new wire. Okay, let's try this again. I can go back over there. Orange and yellow. And I'm pretty sure it's still shorted. It's probably in the wall. Yep. Shorted in the wall. Let's see if I got to add a wire in my work van, and we'll come back up. What's crazy is I have one. We're gonna see if it'll work. All we have to do is substitute one wire. It says it allows a 5-wire thermostat to use only 4 wires, and allows 5 wire to work as 6. So I think we'll be good. Just gotta read the instructions. So I think what I'm gonna do is wire this like this, and then have the white wire on its own strand, because this thing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I need 6 wires, and I can't find the one. See, this one has a white, but it doesn't have a O. I can't find the one that adds a 6 wire. Okay, same as here, same as here. So we'll just wire white straight to the thermostat. So thermostat, you're going to have red, orange, and common. And then you're going to have this diode. You're going to wire yellow and green to this, to the blue wire. So we're just going to substitute whatever we have the short, and we're going to just get rid of the yellow and the green. We're going to get rid of the yellow and the orange and use white somewhere in there. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so I just got done figuring this out, wiring it up. And initially what I did is I kept the red going all the way to the thermostat, blue the blue, white the white. These it didn't matter because this is a condenser. I used, let's see, I pretty much just got rid of yellow call. And then what happened is yellow and green. I used the green wire for the communication blue wire because we're going to use the green for the fan on that little diode. So the diode makes this wire turn into these two wires, theoretically. So I used the green wire, ran it over. I have the green and the yellow here going tied into that green wire for communication. And then here goes in, and then this little box sends out to yellow, and then green to fan up here. Everything else is wired the same. So I pretty much just got rid of yellow, like right over here. I actually got rid of orange because it was the ugliest, and I tied the yellow to the reversing valve outside over here. So just imagine this yellow is orange, but that's reversing valve. Someone's gonna look in here and be really confused. But the orange was the ugliest wire. It looked bad, burnt, so I just got rid of it and used yellow. I would have used orange just to keep it easier in the thermostat, because that's the one wire that was shorted. But we just used yellow. Alright, so now we're going to kick it on. And hopefully I didn't wire nothing wrong. I've done a few of these in the past, but it has been very, very weird. This programming should stay the same. So we're going to test in heat first. I'm going to go ahead and put this door on. Just kind of like this with one screw. Alright, it just clicked on. Fans on. Section line's getting hot. We are heating. Temperature's rising. We are heating. So that's good. Now we just need to test it in cool mode. Alright, thermostat just kicked back on. Fans on. And it's heating for some reason. Should be cooling, giving power to the reversing valve. Let me double check my wiring. Alright, when you're in condo buildings, always double check voltage, because this thing is set to 240. I was only getting 214 volts, which tells me this is a 208 system. Most condos are like that. And this thing was wired wrong. I was only getting like 22 volts to that reversing valve. So I might have to go back to the condenser. I got a feeling that maybe wire nut cut the wire when I put it on. But we're going to turn this back on and we're going to check it. So let's make sure we're getting 24 volts. Alright, it just kicked back on, and I'm testing this, seeing if it's getting cold or hot, the suction line. It's getting cold, so we are cooling now. So let's test it one more time in heat. Make sure we're heating, and then we'll go from there. In the meantime, while we wait for it to reset, I just had to go back to the orange wire. I just got rid of the yellow wire. I was getting voltage, but when I went up to the condenser, I wasn't, so it was losing voltage somewhere. So I literally just got rid of the yellow wire from the thermostat to here and went back with the original orange wire, which it looked worse, but I just kind of cleaned it up and got past the bad part and hooked her back up, and now it's cooling. So now we're going to make sure it switches over to heating and go from there. So let's wait for this heat to kick on. Alright, just kick back on. Feels like it's working. Tube's going up. Suction line's getting hot. I think we're good. Just for safe measures, I'm going to put it back in cool mode and just check it one more time and make sure it's cooling, and I'll set it to like 75 and we'll leave it on cool. Alright, kick back on. We are cooling. We are good to go. Alright, if this helps anybody out on how to fix a short that you can't fix, and the steps to go through to find the short, then this is one thing you can do. But I only had to do this add a wire because the 2 extra wires that you usually have is being used for the dehumidifier. So if it was a short going outside and there was no short on those other wires, we could just use one of those in place of. So we would have been fine, I think, if we would have found it outside and we could have fixed a wire unless there was multiple wires shorted. But it coming from here to there, we had to do an add a wire and get her going, and everything is working fine now.